Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, I am Shantae Williams, and welcome to the I Am Still Somebody webinar series. This is day 2. I am excited, and I hope you all are excited too. I am the ministry leader here at Greater Working Women Ministries. And I just want to personally welcome each and every one of you, especially our teen mothers that will be watching. Thank you so much for joining. And I pray that something is said that will help empower, encourage, and equip you for greater. Our mission statement here at Greater Working Women Ministries: we encourage, empower, and equip women for greater through the Word of God. Our mission statement for our I Am Still Somebody Teen Mom Mentoring Program is encouraging, empowering, and equipping teen moms to be greater mothers and greater women. This is our introduction to our mentoring program to help teen mothers become greater mothers and greater women. We want every teen mother to know that they are still somebody and that they can still be successful in this life as well as their children. Our agenda for this morning is we're actually going to have our speaker first, and then we're going to talk about forgiveness, and then we have another guest speaker, and then I'm going to take any questions and answers that you guys need, and then we're going to close out. If you have a question, if you have a Google account, you can submit questions in the Q&A box on your right, or you can enter it into the chat box. If you do not have a Google account, you can email your questions to me and I'll be checking the email throughout the presentation. Or you can go to our Facebook fan page, scroll down until you see the link for upcoming events, and you'll see the webinar link, and you can post it directly in the event page. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Good morning again. I am Shantae Williams, ministry leader here at Greater Working Women Ministries. And thank you again for joining us for day 2 of our free webinar series that is geared towards teen mothers, their supporters, and anybody concerned about teen moms. And so today's topic is going to be on forgiveness. And I want you to understand that there's power in forgiveness and there's power in unforgiveness. And as a teen mom, you face so many different things and you have so many emotions that are going on the inside of you that you may not understand or you may not be able to process or to deal with or just feel overwhelmed with. But there's one emotion that we have to get down and we have to conquer, and that is forgiveness. I can tell you, I truly didn't understand forgiveness in my situation. I was a teen mom at the age of 15, and I truly did not forgive the father of my child to probably I was in my mid 20s. For all of those many years, I lived with unforgiveness, and I allowed that unforgiveness to seep down into my heart and didn't even understand that it was actually showing out in my actions. And so what I want you to understand that is that when you do not allow forgiveness can be better, and forgiveness is not always easy. Forgiveness is a process, but as you mature, forgiveness will become easier and easier, and it's a must. It is vital to our well-being. It is vital to our success in life. It is vital for us being a good mother. It is vital for us just being a good individual all the way around. We have to learn how to forgive. Forgiveness can run so deep. When you still look at that person, you still have those feelings, you have not truly forgiven. When you cannot be in the same room with an individual, you have not truly forgiven them. And when you are a teen mom and you're left by yourself, when the father of your child has left you, it's hard. It's hard to forgive. It's hard to get over it. It's hard to get past it. But let me tell you something, as time goes on, as you start to heal on the inside, you will be able to do just that. I am a witness, and I can tell you that it took me a while, but I learned it and I'm doing it, and I am enjoying life to the fullest. And it's something that you need to also do, because if we're just be real for a moment, he wasn't all that bad until he left you. He wasn't, no good until he was no longer around. And so we have to be careful of the words that we speak, because it took two. We didn't do it by ourselves. It took two willing partners to engage in an act to produce a child. And so, I'm not talking to young ladies who were raped or molested. You do still need to forgive, but I'm talking from a perspective of a teen mom who knew what she was doing, who put herself in position to get pregnant, and now that she's pregnant or have a child or more than one child, and now that she's bitter, she's angry at the father of her children because he left her, but she's not taking responsibility for her own actions. You see, we have to be responsible, and we have to own up for what we took part in our own doing, because if we weren't just by ourselves. Okay, this was a two-party thing. And so forgiveness is big. Forgiveness means to pardon a wrong that was done unto you. And so you have to be willing to say, you know what, I admit that I put myself in this position, and now that I have this beautiful baby or this beautiful child or these beautiful kids that God has blessed me with, I'm going to choose to forgive you, not just in word, but in action. And so, how do you know that you have truly forgiven? That you no longer speak evil of, or you no longer have harsh words about the father of your child, that you can no longer dog him out, that you can no longer call him names, that you can no longer just be disrespectful and have an attitude, because it took two. Both of you engaged in the act, both of you had the baby, but 9 times out of 10 the burden is put on the mother. However, we have to mature and we have to forgive. It's not easy, but you can do it. We have to forgive. Why? Because when you forgive, you free yourself. You're no longer allowing yourself to be controlled by that individual's actions towards you. You are rising above it and saying, you know what? It happened. I take my responsibility, but I'm not going to allow this situation to run my life. This situation is not going to dictate my life. My emotions are not going to control me. I'm going to control my emotions. And that is so, so, so important. And so, as a teen mom, I realize that your emotions are just all over the place. You have your up days, you have your down days, you have your indifferent days. But through it all, one thing you must master early on is forgiveness. And you have to forgive yourself. Stop beating up on yourself. Stop saying, I don't know what I was thinking. How could I have been so stupid? What in the world was I doing? I just can't believe I'm in this situation. Stop beating yourself up. Number one, it's not going to change the situation. Your child is just not going to disappear. You're not just going to stop being a teen mom overnight. Stop beating yourself up. You are a wonderful individual and you can do this. You can overcome the odds. You can still be successful in life. You can still accomplish your dreams and goals. You can be a great mother, because when you think about it, when your child looks at you, they don't see your past. They don't know your past. They don't know your history. They don't know what you used to do or how they got there. When they look at you, all they see is a mother's eyes looking back at them. All they feel is their mother's love and their mother's touch. And what we have to realize is everything that we do, we are teaching our children to do. We can tell them one thing, but when they see us doing something, is what they're going to do. They're going to imitate what they see, not so much in what they hear. So we have to be sure that our actions are in the right way. We have to put our feelings aside, and we have to make sure that we are being that good example for our children. You have to stop and ask yourself, is the way that I'm acting the way that I want my child to act? Is the way that I'm treating this individual the way that I want my child to treat somebody else? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. So then we have to see, what steps do I need to take to make sure that I am setting a good example for my child to follow? Because every good mother wants their child to be better than them, wants them to do more than them, wants to accomplish greater things than them. And so it starts now. It doesn't start when they get a certain age. It starts the moment you hold that baby in your arms. We have to make sure that as mothers, no matter what age we are, that we are setting the best example for our children. They deserve the best no matter what, because they didn't ask to be here. They couldn't choose their parents. They couldn't choose the circumstances they were born into. They were born into the circumstances in spite of. And so we have to make sure that we position ourselves to be the best mothers that we can be. And that means forgiving the father of our child, especially when he chooses not to be present. We have to forgive him and make sure that we can still raise our children in love. We don't teach our children to hate their father. We don't teach our children to say nasty things about their father or to be disrespectful. We don't do that. We teach them to love no matter what. And it's just important. It's important that you all learn how to forgive and to forgive early. And don't beat yourself up. We all have done things that were not necessarily in the best interest of our lives. But if we keep beating ourselves up over this thing over and over and over again, how are we going to be better? How are we going to be greater? How is that adding value to our lives? It's not. So listen, you're not by yourself. We've all done things that we're not necessarily proud of, but we can't beat ourselves up over it. We have to make sure that we learn from it and don't keep repeating the cycle. Okay, so forgiveness. I want you guys to understand the power behind forgiveness. Forgiveness means you pardon the wrong that was done to you. It doesn't necessarily mean the relationship will be reconciled to where it was, but it is a start, because you have to co parent. You can't keep your child from their father, unless it's a situation where your life and your child's life is in danger. That's totally different. But just because they're not doing what you want them to do for your feelings, that's not right. We cannot use our children as pawns in this game of life. They are living, breathing human beings with emotions. And every time we try to manipulate the father of our children with our children, we are teaching our children how to do the same thing. So we have to stop it. I know it's not easy, but we have to stop it. So every day, decide in your mind, I'm going to live a life of forgiveness because I want to be free. Children can be free. And that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, we want the best for our children. And that's what it is. So we have to learn how to forgive. So does anybody have any questions on forgiveness before our first guest speaker comes on? Does anybody have any questions? If you do, you can put them in the chat box, or you can put them in the Q&A box on your right. Okay, I don't see any questions at this time. I hope my speakers. Okay. I don't see my speakers. That's okay. Okay. So, are there any questions, any comments on forgiveness that anybody wants to share? I didn't want this presentation to be as long as last week's. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm going to go through and show you guys some resources that we have offered for our teen moms that are coming out in 2016. I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so today's topic was living a life of forgiveness. And this is so important. Forgiving yourself is one of the best things that you can ever do. We limit so many things in our lives because of the lack of self-forgiveness. There may be people in your life that will try and hold this over your head for all eternity, but you do not need to be one of them. You declare in your life, I am still somebody. Because yes, you are. Okay, so coming soon, we're going to have Teen Mom Talk Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for 15 minutes. We're going to have encouragement for teen mothers, and we're going to start this after our third webinar next Saturday. So November the 17th, I think is that date, is when we'll start our Teen Mom Talk Tuesdays. Our resources that we're going to have available. The first one is The Journey to Finding My Purpose. This resource is for organizations that are working with teen moms that needs a curriculum, and this cover is going to be redone. But this is an 8-week program that's going to come with a leader manual that can be done with one-on-one sessions or group sessions for teen moms for organization at any size that works with teen moms. This is a faith-based written tool. I do want you to understand it's a faith-based written tool. Everything that we put out will be faith-based. Some of the topics that will be covered in this book are the power of my thoughts, what is motherhood, and who am I? Those are just three of the chapters out of the 8 chapters that will be in the workbook. It's going to be awesome. Awesome. I cannot wait for this to be completed. And then the I Am Still Somebody book series that I am so excited about, that will be introduced in January of next year. It is a series, and the first part is a book, and it's going to have this is the actual book cover. And this is the first one. The second one is a workbook, and it's going to be pink, and there are too cute. The third one is a prayer book, and it's going to be green. And then the last one is the prayer journal, which is yellow. I'm so excited for this series. I can't wait for you guys to actually get it in your hands. Pre-order information for these book series and for the workbook for organizations will be released on November 14th after the last webinar. So that'll be one of the final slides that I will show you how you can pre-order it. Okay, before we get to the survey, I'm trying to, okay, you guys give me just a second. My presenters are on, but I cannot see them. Okay, guys, here is a survey that you can complete. Please complete the survey so that we can know to make sure that our resources are relevant and to make sure that they are effective for you. And if there's any information or resource that you need, please let us know so that we can create that for you. And we do custom resources for organizations or just for individuals. just let us know. Okay, if you guys will hold on just a second, I'm trying to get one of my speakers in. We're having just a little bit of technical difficulty. So if you guys can just hold on for just a second. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for your patience. We're still trying to get our speakers on. We're just having a little bit of technical difficulty. If you guys can just bear with us just for a little while longer. Thank you.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, Akina. Okay, I'm gonna put you
Hi.
on.
Uh-oh.
Yes, okay. Okay, you guys, we finally got the technical difficulties straight. Thank God. Thank you guys for staying on. But I'm going to let Akina share with you her story. Thank you so much, Akina, for reaching out and not just thinking, oh, well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, okay. Can you see me? I
Yes,
think
I
I
can
see
see you.
everybody now. Oh my God, we did it.
Hi, Akina. Okay, I'm going to put you on.
Hi.
Okay, Akina's on, and then I'm going to mute everybody else. Okay, you guys, we finally got the technical difficulties straight. Thank God. Thank you guys for staying on. But I'm going to let Akina share with you her story. Thank you so much, Akina, for reaching out and not just thinking, oh, well. Thank you, thank you.
No problem. No problem. Oh, let me know when you're ready.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay. So, hi everybody. I'm Akina, and please forgive me if you hear my little baby in the background. She is 2, and she is very much at my hip. So please forgive me if you hear her. She's here too. I am Akina. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I was a teen mom. Actually, I was a tween mom. I had my first daughter when I was 12. Yep, say it with me, 12. So that pretty much set the course of a lot of things in my life. Um, but I survived it, and I'm here today to tell the story. And it's a great story. It's very much like what Shantae's been talking about how just because that happened to you, or just because you find yourself in this situation as a teen mom, that does not mean that you are unable to attain a whole lot of great things. There's a whole lot of other great things ahead for you. You probably can't see it. You probably don't know it, but they are in front of you if you just kind of keep pushing. Now, when we talk about forgiveness, forgiveness is definitely an integral part of the process. You have to forgive, because if you don't forgive, forgiveness allows you to be able to move on with your life. I mean, and you have to move on with your life because you are an amazing person and you have an amazing future. But forgiveness is something that can kind of keep you in that same place that you are, which I know you're more than what you are right now, and you want to keep moving forward from where you are right now. So forgiveness is definitely a big piece of what it is that you're doing. We none of us can take back the past, and like she said, he was pretty great until you guys weren't together anymore. So that's kind of where who a little bit a brief synopsis of who I am. And um, I have an amazing daughter. She is now 25. She is not a teen parent, like they said, like the statistics said that she would be. So you have to really mute out a lot of what people are saying and what people are trying to tell you. There are a lot of negative emotions that go behind um, teen pregnancy. It's a real hot button for a lot of people. Your parents, were expecting, a lot from you. I mean, and so if when this happens, it kind of, stuck a pin in their balloon, because you're their baby. So, not only just parents, but your family members too. They expect the very best from you, and I believe that you're going to be able to give it to them. Even though you have a baby, there's many successful other teen moms who have gone on. They had their baby. They lived that life. They went through their process, and they're on the other side of it. And you'll be on the other side of it too. But you just have to move forward. You have to keep moving forward, and you have to forgive.
Thank you so much, Akina. That is awesome. We definitely have to make sure that we are living the life of forgiveness. And just like she said, you know, this is just part of your story. Your life is not over. All hope is not gone. You can still be successful. So, Akina, I want you to tell everybody how they can reach you, what you have going on, and your organization.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, I can be reached. You can always reach out to me. My name or my email address. I'm sorry. I wish I had something fancy, like some slide or something that I could put up and just say, you know, what it is. But it's Akina Brodiak, Brodeak, when it's at gmail.com. I am writing. Well, I'm not really writing the book. I'm pretty much done with the book. It's 12 and Pregnant, and it's a successful guide to living and thriving past teenage pregnancy. So I'll probably have that done probably by the first of the year. Probably I'll publish it by the first of the year. So look for that. As well as me just doing a whole bunch of stuff. It's every time I tell people about the story, they always stop me. They always want to know. They always, you know, they're like, that cannot be true. And it is true. And I am here to tell the story. You know, people make it past teenage pregnancy. There's Sofia Vergara, or there's numerous other people who have done this, and you can do it. And people like Shantae are here to tell you that it's possible. I'm out here telling you, screaming, saying, hey, keep going, move. You cannot get stuck here. This is not your destination. There is so much more greater on the other side. God has an amazing plan for you, and you have not even scratched the surface of it. He has an amazing plan for your baby. My daughter is 25. She's a college graduate. She's the first college graduate in my family. Now, what would have happened if I wouldn't have kept that baby? So anyway, you got to keep moving. You got to keep going. And so, yeah, if you're interested in reaching out to me, akinabrodiak@gmail.com. This is something that I'm definitely all about, empowering you and championing in you. I don't know if I said that right, but if I didn't, forgive me. But anyway, yeah, that's just a little bit about me. There's so much more that I could tell you or say. It's too much, though. It needs to. So anyway, I'm happy to be here with you. I'm happy to help you to understand and know that you're going to do this. You're going to do this. You're going to make it. You're going to forgive, and you're going to move past it. You're going to be an amazing woman. You're already starting to be. You already have the makings, and you're raising that baby. You know, you're raising that baby, and we're moving forward. And that baby could be the next President Barack Obama. And you are that baby's mother. So just as you're moving and doing greater things, so will you bring along that child. God never makes any mistakes. So we're doing this.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Akina. I just want to say thank you again for you guys not giving up on me and trying to get on. I don't know what was going on with these technical difficulties today, but the devil is a lie. Okay, so our next guest speaker is Ronique, and she has an awesome testimony that she's going to share with you guys. So, Miss Ronique, are you ready?
Yes, definitely. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. I am Ronique West. I actually own and operate R3 Unlimited LLC, which you can reach me at info@r3unlimited.com or www.r3unlimited.com. I am actually a teen mom as well. My daughter is now 22. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story and what occurred in my life, just so I can let you know that forgiveness is a part of it, determination, God, and then the goals that you set for yourself and your family is huge. I actually started at age 15 is when I had my daughter. It came from a molestation that I had, as well as I had my great-grandmother who was like my mom to me died. My mom and dad were together as I was growing up, but I really connected well with my great-grandmother, and no one believed me in my family that I got molested. but the person who did believe me happened to end up being my child's father. So I was kind of looking for love or that consoling, and it didn't come from my family, so it ended up coming from outside of my family, and we ended up creating a daughter. But during that time when I got pregnant, I've always pretty much been a determined person, been in school, things like that. But my mom and dad, when I got pregnant, they felt like my life was over. My dad said I was a whore. They tried to convince me to abort my child. I was raised Christian, so I didn't believe in abortion. But my family wanted me to really abort. I kind of went against them. I was like, I'm not aborting my baby. I'm keeping my child. Something clicked in me that now I have a human being to take care of. And when you become a mom, you have to look at and say, I have a human, another person that's now depending on me. It doesn't matter what age you are. You have to look at that you now have this person that you are now responsible for and that you are taking care of. So that is huge. You have to take that back. No matter what's going on around you, you have to understand that is now your responsibility. Even though my mom and my dad, they did that to me, they decided that my life was over, I continued to persevere and press on. I worked as many jobs as possible until I finally landed at a company that I felt that I could build somewhat a career at. I ended up working that job for 15 plus years. And then I ended up going to school. I just recently graduated from college, actually about 2 or 3 years ago. So, and then my daughter is now in school. She is actually a junior forensics major, and she is actually going to be a detective. So just imagine, I'm a single mom, and she don't have any kids. I don't even know when she's going to have a child. I'm kind of concerned now. She may not even have no kids. But, she is now a single, she's not a single mom, but she's now in school, and she's believing in her dream and persevering forward. But it took me to forgive my parents, to forgive my child's father. I never blamed them for my position. I took responsibility. Responsibility is a huge, huge, huge thing for you to get through this time in your life. You have to take responsibility of the actions. Even if it's just you, you can't look at them to say, oh, you should help me, you should feel sorry for me, I got up and I did it. I worked 2 jobs, I went to school, I did whatever I needed to do to provide for me and my daughter. I don't disagree with government assistance. I believe get the help that you need to get. I just never had the opportunity to have to take government assistance. But I thank God for that. But I always believed in hard working and persevering through no matter what. And it was a time where I can remember a low point. I really needed some help. I was sitting there and I was in between. I wasn't even in between jobs. I think I was just changing jobs, and I had bought a car, and it was a lemon. A car that basically really wasn't operating or whatever correctly. And I had just purchased it, and I'm like, Mom, I just need to get back and forth getting my child to daycare for about 2 weeks. I just need a little help. I've never asked my mom for help. She told me no. And I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm now in Georgia. And that woke me up to say, hey, you got to do what you got to do. I looked at my daughter that day, and I said, I promise you, you ain't got to worry about nothing else from this day forward. She didn't understand because she was only 3 years old at the time. But I knew when we was walking in that cold air and we was riding that bus, and I was like, oh, no, this is not going to happen. And you can do everything you set out to do. Don't listen to nobody. You can do anything you set out to do. Listen to me. God is with you. You can do it. I don't care the darkest moments, the time I was crying, the time I didn't understand what was going on, the time, everybody was against me. And they look at us now and they're like, wow. They're like, wow, because they know they had nothing to do with it. But guess who did? God. God is real, people. God is real. I'm a testimony to tell you God is real. He will put other people in your life to make sure that you get where you need to get going. It may not be your family. It may not be your child's father. But I guarantee you, if you do the work, God will intercede and bring people that will keep you on track. You wouldn't even imagine. You'd be like, where did it come from? That was nothing but God. Be thankful. Stay connected with God because he's going to be the one to help you through. Take responsibility. Don't go out and have other kids until you're responsible. You're able to afford to. That's important. It's so many options out here for you to understand what to do to take responsibility. That's one thing I did. I was like, I'm not having any more kids. I end up not even having another one. I only have a single I only have one child, but you know, that was just something I ended up not ever having any of kids. What didn't mean that I didn't really want to, it just never happened. But I took responsibility to make sure until I got to a point that she was good, that I was able to give her the education she deserved. I didn't want to take that I was a single mom and I was a teen mom, that my child didn't get what she needed, regardless, within limits, of course, you know, keep it, of course, integrity and everything that I am about in place. And there's so many options out here. Get out here and do it. When God see you put in work, he's going to provide for you. So just remember, work without faith is dead. So you put in the work, keep your faith, and you keep persevering. Just so you know, you can go ahead and do what you got to do. I'm doing a total life change. I walked away from my job 15 years, just less than a year and a half ago, and started building my company. Now I can sort myself out. Ain't God good? That means I control my own. I'm controlling my destiny of what I want to do. And I'm very strong about what to do in the community, what I want to do in the community, and what I do daily in the community. I help in the community as well, which is a big portion of R3 Unlimited LLC. I have no limitations of what corporate America tells me I can do or what I can do. If I feel like I want to get up and go help and go bag some groceries, whatever I feel like doing, I can go do it. That's what perseverance and determination and you setting goals will do for you. And forgiving. I forgave my mom. I forgave my dad. I even forgave my child's father. He was in and out of jail her whole entire life. I never got 1 cent in child support. But I never held that against him. Never. I said, God, do what you got to do to provide for us. And he did it. We from Indiana, but we have lived in Memphis, Tennessee, and Augusta, Georgia now. My daughter lives in Savannah, Georgia. I've never been married or anything. Didn't no man do that. That was me and God and me, but determined to do what I want to do. You set your goals, you write them down, and you put in work. And don't listen to what the naysayers are saying. Prove them wrong. And believe in forgiveness, because forgiveness is going to help you to continue on despite it all. And I guarantee you in the end, they're going to be looking at you. They're going to be clapping you on. They're going to be like, wow, who did that? Nothing but God, because God is within you, so you can do this. You can persevere. I'm not going to continue going on, Akina, because I can talk, girl. Don't get me started. Girl, let me go. Let me stop. But I just want you to know, to the teen moms out there, take responsibility. Yes, people are going to be naysayers. Even today, I still face a lot. When I was young. I deal with corporate America, consulting, everything. I walk in a room sometimes, and they like, what this young girl going to teach me today? She don't know nothing. Then they hear the things come out of my mouth, and I begin to speak. Invest in your education. Invest in your child's education. Your life is not over. I looked at it as when I had my child, my life was just beginning. You still invest in yourself because you're still growing as an individual too. So don't think your life is over. It's going to get tough. It's going to get rough. But in the end, it is going to be so worth it. Trust me, we are living testimonies to show you that it's going to be so worth it. Make sure you're writing down your goals, put in your determination, stay close to God, and forgive those who down you, talk about you, who's naysaying, and prove them wrong. That's all I can tell you. Get the determination that fire you to prove them wrong. Akina, I'm going to give it back over to you because, girl, I can talk forever. You better take the mic back. You don't want me to get started, honey. Girl, I want you. Because what you're saying is the truth. It's just too many people. Right. Mhm.
Point in time, you can failure is not even an option. I was gonna say something, but failure is not even an option for you at this point. Like she said, you're gonna have to prove them wrong because a lot of people think a lot of things. By the time you have a baby, people start to think guys think you're easy. Other girls look down on you. Your parents, and they looking like, oh boy, we don't know what she gonna be. So you gonna have to pick up with everything that you got in you, every wherewithal that you got in you. Every act of defiance. If you ever been defiant, you gonna have to say, you know what, I'm gonna make it with
Right.
this baby. And so, you can make it, you can do it, and I don't even just it's not even an option. Failure is not even an option. I mean, you just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other with this.
Run through those no's. That's my saying. Run through those no's. You're gonna get them. Run through them because that means you're getting closer to the yes. I think about that all the time. That's all I do. I run through those no's. That's how I moved me and my child to 3 different cities on my own and not be in the army. Run through those no's because somebody's gonna tell you yes. Failure is not an option once you become a mom. You even if you're not a mom, failure is just not an option. You got to get that determination down and you motivate yourself. That's how you motivate others, and that's how you stay motivated. And look for motivation on a daily basis. Watch what you're feeding your mindset. Look at who you're following on social media. Make sure you're looking at positive imaging, things that are speaking life into you. That is extremely important, especially when you're in a social media age. Determine your timeline. Determine who you're following. Determine if they're speaking to you or speaking into you, or are they pulling you down. If you read a post and it drags you down, you probably need to stop following that person. Find you some people that's uplifting you. Follow these ladies that are talking today. And Shantae, I didn't mean to say Akina. I just seen the first name, and I'm just talking, and I'm gone. But Miss Shantae put this all together. Thank you for inviting me, honey. I'm happy we got in so I could talk, and I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
Thank you, ladies, so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I tell you what, I'm so glad we overcame these technical difficulties because we all needed to hear these powerful stories. Let me tell you something, this will not be the end that you hear from these ladies. We're definitely going to stay in contact, and we're going to be doing some more things coming in 2016. God has given me something. I won't release it too early. I'll wait until the next webinar series to kind of get everyone's feedback on it, but I feel that it's going to be awesome, awesome, awesome. So again, thank you, Akina. Thank you, Ronique, for not giving up on me because we had technical difficulties. Thank you guys so much, so much. So again, I'm gonna show you guys the webinar link so that you guys can please take the survey. Let us know how it was. Did you enjoy it? Give us your honest opinion and your honest feedback because that helps make the sources more relevant, more effective for those that need it. And that is our goal. So I will post this on Twitter and on our Facebook fan page so that you guys can get the link for it. Also, this is our contact information here. You can email us at either one of these email addresses. The blog is up. So if you go to that link, it'll just say enter your email address, and you'll be I'm doing some resigning on it. What we're trying to do here at Greater Working Women Ministries. So that, and also, we would love for you to follow us on social media. Immediately after we end this webinar, I'm going to do a recap on Periscope. So follow me on Periscope at Greater Women so that we can just do a brief recap, talk about the webinar series and talk about today and talk about forgiveness and how it is important in all of our lives. Regardless of what you're going through, forgiveness will free you from so many different things. Okay, so those are all of our social media handles. And our third and final webinar will be next Saturday, November the 14th, 8 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Central, and 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And hopefully we won't have any technical difficulties, but if we do, I promise you, if you'll stay, it'll be worth the wait, just like today. So go ahead and put that on your calendar next Saturday, same time, same place. Again, our mission statement is encouraging, empowering, and equipping teen moms to be greater mothers and greater women. Don't forget about the survey. Please, please, please take the survey. Again, thank you so much for joining us. It has been an awesome time. I tell you what, it has just been unbelievable. I am so excited about the things that are going on and what's going in the future. You do not want to miss it. Stay connected with us. We're going to be bringing some more resources to you in 2016 that is going to be beneficial. So, again, thank you, ladies, for joining. Thank you to all of our viewers and those who will be watching via YouTube on the replay. Thank you guys so much, and have a blessed day.